Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And as many of you already know, Frank Beard recently passed away. He is the drummer for ZZ Top. Ever since they began the band, the earliest ZZ Top I have actually is their second album, Rio Grande Mud. There's a lot of great ZZs, by the way. The one that this song that we're going to look at today came off was Diguelo, a highly recommended album. A lot of great stuff on this, but we're going to be watching Cheap Sunglasses today from the Old Grey Whistle Test in 1980. Old Grey Whistle Test tends to have a lot of great acts on. I'm so glad that they did, because now we've got all these videos to look at that we might not have otherwise been able to look at. There were a few programs, Top of the Pops, we had American Bandstand, a lot of those mimed. I don't think this is going to be a mimed performance. I think this is actually going to be live. So I look forward to it. Adrian, you must have encountered this song before.
Oh yeah, this is probably my favorite ZZ Top song.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I chose this one for us to look at because Frank does have an amazing drum track for it. Very funky stuff. And by the way, I think it's only worth noting for those that don't know, one of their biggest albums, Eliminator, has no drums on it. These are all drum machine tracks. I mean, obviously, when they went out and toured the album, Frank was playing the drums then. But on the studio album, he's not on there. I would actually recommend Diguelo or perhaps Three Amigos as fantastic albums to start your ZZ Top journey with. Why don't we go ahead and check this out, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Alrighty.
When you wake up in the morning and the light is at your head, the first thing you do when you get up out of bed, you hit them streets of learning and you try to beat the masses. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Spied a little thing and I followed her all night in a funky fine Levi's and a sweater kind of tight. She had a West Coast strut that was sweet as molasses, but what really knocked me out was a cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I can get you some thick black frames with the glass so dark they won't even know your name. And the choice is up to you, cause they come in two classes. Rhinestone shades of cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, Adrian, so what did you think of Cheap Sunglasses?
This is a classic. I love the groove. I love the way they ended the song.
Yeah, so they slowed it down a little bit more than, I don't know if they did on the record. They may have slowed it a little, but here they came to a complete stop. There were other things about this song that I had kind of forgotten about, and now listening to it with fresh ears, there are a lot of cool little unique moments in these songs. First, you got Frank Beard with the rototom, going, boo, and it may very well have been a trigger just like on MIDI drums today. It may have had something like that going on so that it got electronically treated. So when he hit the drum, you heard the boo. Now, I don't know how we got the boo later on at the end of the break. That was a surprise. And it turns out that the sound that I thought was inexplicable before each verse actually was Billy Gibbons playing just one note, do-do-do-do-do-do, maybe, over the course of an octave, but it was just a very heavily treated guitar sound. A lot of distortion, but other things too. It'd be interesting to see what his pedal configuration was for that, because I'm pretty sure back then it was all pedals. There's no computer. So those are all very interesting to me, those things. I loved the moment where you got one cowbell out of Frank. Dunk. Going into the next section of the song. I thought that was cool. It's humorous. It's unique. People will remember it. And that's the kind of thing that showed up in a lot of ZZ Top songs back in the day. That's the kind of thing that really gives it its charm and their personality and everything. There's just always like a twist to it, something a little different, that showed off their personalities.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it, is you can feel their personality in a lot of their music.
Yeah.
So I do have 2 other albums. I may as well show them. I've got 5 vinyl albums for ZZ Top. One is Fandango, which is half live, half studio. This is the last one they did for a little while. After this, they started growing the beards, and they kind of ducked out of the music industry for a couple of years. And then came back and, did Cheap Sunglasses, amongst other things. That has Tush on it, by the way. And the last one I have is Tres Hombres, which is arguably their best album. It all depends on your point of view. This has Waiting on the Bus to Jesus Just Left Chicago, major songs in their repertoire. And it's just a fantastic record from top to bottom. Highly recommended. 1973, in case you're curious. But people tell me all of their albums have something worthwhile on them. So, and I believe them. That's the thing, is you could always feel their personality on the records. It wasn't just any old band pounding out a song. It was clearly ZZ Top every time.
Yeah, it takes something special.
That's right. And the fact they never had a lineup change, throughout their whole existence, it took members of the band actually passing away for another band member to join. Dusty Hill, by the way, yes, he's a bass player, passed in 2021. He was in the band his whole life as well. So these guys went on for 50 years, more than 50 years, in that lineup, which is just incredible. You think about it. I mean, you got to start thinking about bands like Rush, that would match that. Even Rush didn't, because Neil passed before they could get to that milestone. So it's difficult, But anyway, for those of you that weren't that familiar with ZZ Top, maybe had questions, especially in the wake of Frank Beard's passing, well, they are worth a deep dive. There is a Best of ZZ Top album out there, well worth listening to.
My personal favorite is Tiguelo.
Yeah, great album, for sure. Absolutely. Definitely one of the highlights in their catalog. Okay, well, folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this, if you ever saw the band, if you ever had any interactions with Frank. I've actually seen some amazing fan stories about encounters with Frank Beard over the course of his lifetime. He just sounded like a great, friendly dude, somebody definitely worth emulating in terms of that. That's always wonderful to hear. If you have any stories like that, please leave them below. If you ever saw them, tell us, of course. If you have a favorite song you want to mention, by all means, leave that as well. Okay, this is actually our first time reviewing ZZ Top, but I've performed Jesus Just Left Chicago on many occasions in various bands. It's a great song. I've always loved the band. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. Okay, thanks so much for joining us today. We will catch you on the next one. Take care, folks.
See you all later.